welcome back to another video. My name is Kally
and I'm Hodo,
and today we have another
scenario. It's not even a scenario, we've got season 2 has started.
Oh yeah, this is the beginning of season 2. How could I forget? How could I forget? Yeah, so this is the beginning of a brand new series, and this series should be quite exciting. We have a lot of surprises coming up.
Our first scenario, Kally.
I think my sister-in-law's best friend is trying to get with my husband and she's encouraging it. Am I delusional? Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so the sister-in-law's best friend is trying to get with the husband. The sister-in-law and the best friend are both 23-year-old females. The husband is a 25-year-old male. So my sister-in-law, 23 female, is my husband's 28 male half-sister. She was the product of their mother's infidelity. His father divorced their mother when she was 12 after he found out through a paternity test she wasn't his.
Aww, okay. So there's a little bit of family drama to begin with. There's some trauma going on.
Right, so my father-in-law refused to have anything to do with my sister-in-law but continued to have a relationship with my husband. Because of this, my sister-in-law...
Cotton's cats.
Because of this, my sister-in-law is very clingy to my husband. My husband is also very protective of his sister and generally doesn't tolerate anything negative being said about her.
Cool.
Which is why I'm posting this here before mentioning anything to him. My husband and I bought a house last year which has its own indoor swimming pool. My sister-in-law was super excited when she saw it and asked if she could use it sometimes with her friend. I already know.
She's gonna try.
With her friend.
She's trying to seduce him and buy the pool. This is gonna be so weird.
We said it was fine as long as she gave us notice before she turned up. Her and her friend Chloe have used it many times before, but almost never when my husband is home. He is a lawyer and works long hours. With lockdown, my husband has started to work from home. My sister-in-law asked me if she and Chloe could come over and use the pool. I told her I was uncomfortable with them coming over as I'm pregnant and I don't want to accidentally expose the baby to anything risky.
Fair point, fair point. I don't think that's catty, but go on.
My sister-in-law then asked if she and Chloe quarantined for 2 weeks, would they be able to come over? My husband said it was fine.
All in an effort to swim in the pool? That's a bit weird.
Do you think the sister-in-law was trying to set up the wife?
Yeah.
That sounds a bit fishy, doesn't it?
Just go to the leisure centre. It's not that deep. You don't need to quarantine for 2 weeks so you can use a pool.
It's all a bit weird, isn't it? 2 weeks later, they turn up to my house. My husband was in his office. They go straight to the pool after making small talk. My husband ends up coming out after an hour and we're hanging out in the kitchen. My sister-in-law walks in to get a drink and she starts talking to my husband. Before she goes back to the pool, she says, Chloe's going to be so happy to see you. What? Why is Chloe going to be so happy to see a married man?
Chloe seems a bit fast already.
It's the sister-in-law. She's like the
she's the one that's like
this
creating
whole
the problem.
thing. Anyway.
Okay, cool.
It was weird because my husband and Chloe aren't close. Chloe comes into the kitchen 2 minutes later and spends the rest of her time talking to my husband until he excuses himself to get back to work. Fareed. She's super giggly.
I can't do.
She's super giggly and smiley when she talks to him. He would say something sarcastic and she would laugh like it was the funniest joke she's ever heard. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, roll eyes.
It honestly felt like she was flirting with him. Before she went back to the pool, she gave me this weird smirky look. What?
Who, Chloe did that?
Yeah.
Naya. Hola.
A weird smirky look. Can we just talk about this? Chloe's laughing more than usual at shit jokes that this husband is making. she's now giving the wife smirky look.
Chloe
just sounds
my
like...
sis.
Chloe sounds like a home wrecker. The next 2 weeks, they come over to the house to swim every single day. You trust your husband, yeah?
I do trust. I don't think it's a husband problem. I think it's a Chloe problem.
I know, but men have a propensity to basically do impulsive things when they're dangled, when the carrot's dangled over their head. Chloe never gets in the water. Oh, instead she hangs around the house in her bikini.
Oh, Chloe, you're asking for trouble.
In her bikini.
Okay.
She doesn't even get in the water. She's agreed to come to the house to swim. She's not even getting in the water. Instead, she's prancing around in her underwear.
We've established Chloe is trifling.
Trifling.
But I want to know the intention. Is the sister pushing this story? Because why would a sister-in-law do this to the? Do you know what I mean? To the wife?
Nah.
There must be problems. I need to know. I need to figure out. I want to know. I want to finish the story. I want to know what Chloe's plan is.
Look. She was previously wearing a one piece. If that makes a difference. So she used to wear one piece. Now she's wearing 2 pieces. Whenever my husband comes out to hang around me, she quickly interrupts him and keeps him talking until he has to go back to work. I made lunch for all of us, and when I excused myself to call my husband down, my sister-in-law quickly stopped me and said Chloe could call him for me. Well, that sister-in-law's spooky. That sister-in-law, she's in on it.
She is in on it. Chloe will call him down. I'll be like, no, funny stuff. I'll be like, sit down. It's my house. I'll do what I want. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, but this wife, like.
Well, I'm a skin. She's being very patient.
Very patient. I mean, like, a bit too patient, if you ask me. Chloe has also started to get touchier with my husband. She's put her hands on his chest and arms. Stands or sits really close to him. To my husband's credit,
is he not witnessing this, a soggle? What are you doing? What's my man doing?
To my husband's credit, he does usually create space between them whenever she does something like this.
Okay.
So he's doing something.
Okay, cool. So he's not. So I want to know if he's clocked this behaviour. Why is he not having a conversation?
Yeah, if he feels like he has to move away from her because she's basically being more affectionate. Why is no one addressing it? These people to come to the house. Yeah, why is no one addressing it?
Okay.
The reason I believe my sister-in-law is in on this is because she's made a few pregnancy-related jabs at me recently. She told me a story about how one of her friend's boyfriends was cheating on her and then said something along the lines of, did you know a lot of men start cheating when their wives are pregnant? She's also made comments about how I look chubby and now it looks weird next to my husband because he's well built. If she spots my husband
We're fighting.
If she spots my husband out of the office, she quickly goes to inform Chloe.
We're fighting.
Nah.
We're fighting.
Chloe and that sister-in-law
We're fighting.
needs to go.
We're fighting. I'm pregnant and you're coming to know my weight. And we're fighting.
She's probably missed the signs because think about it. She's pregnant. She's hormonal. She's tired. Do you know what I mean? She's probably not even interested in, do you know what I mean? She probably likes the company. So she's like, oh, she's got a lot to deal with. She's probably not even realising what these...
But she is. She's telling us she's realising
Well,
it.
now she's
addressing it.
Yeah, she's realising it now. But I'm just saying beforehand when it was like the smirky looks, the little, you know... I can understand why she'd miss
I would be arguing already. But okay, cool. Let's just pause and address Chloe and her sister quickly.
No, I wouldn't.
Just leave the house. Like you're destroying a relationship.
I wouldn't have even let them come to my house in the first place.
It's his sister, so you can't really stop her from coming to the house.
Yeah, but she's bringing a friend. You know what it is? You know when they say that, like, your mum notices, like, your shit friends before anyone else does? The husband should have clocked this behaviour. Because he's the one that's like...
But he needs to be the one to address the sister situation. I think the wife can address little fast Chloe. The wife can definitely address her.
But she's pregnant. And she also says, look, I know pregnancy hormones can mess with a person's brain, so I'm wondering if I'm just looking for something that isn't there. So I understand where this wife, to an extent, like, she's probably got a lot to deal with. So she's not really, if what she's perceiving, she probably feels, oh, it's probably my hormones or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
But pregnancy hormones are not a disability for your mind. My friend, you will see when someone is trying to hit on your husband, okay?
And also, like, please, like, you know me, I look at patterns and signs. Like, if someone is coming to my house every single day, all of a sudden it's like it's gone from like every 2 weeks to every single day. And on top of that, you're just trying to find any excuse to be alone with my husband. You're touching him up. Like, I think I would have exploded at a touching. Okay, so my sister-in-law sent me a text yesterday asking if she could come over to swim next week. And I really want to say no, but I know she'll whine to my husband if I do. I ideally want to have a conversation with him before then, but I'm not sure if I should mention the flirting. Am I being delusional?
No. So sis, what needs to happen is you need to step to your husband and say, my friend, tell your little fast sister and a little fast friend to not come to my house, thank you very much. Their relationship could be intact. He just needs to open his eyes and he needs to say, sis, you need to stop this little behaviour. What's going on? And to be honest, if I'm honest with you, his wife's already emotional as it is.
Yeah, she is.
She's already emotional as it is. So in my mind, surely you would want to help her by not being too, like, having so much anxiety or whatever's going on and just dealing with the situation himself.
And that's on. Period.
And there.
Oh, so she basically read all the comments on the original post and people left loads of lovely suggestions on what she should do. She goes, and how she was going to bring up the issue. Turns out I didn't have to. We were watching a movie and my phone lit up with another text from my sister-in-law telling me she was now going to be here at 1 p.m. the next day to swim with Chloe. My husband saw it and told me to tell her not to come. Woo! Look at that.
We apologise for anything bad we said about you.
This is really weird behaviour for my husband because he tends to do anything to accommodate my sister-in-law and very rarely refuses her anything.
Oh.
I asked him if something had happened and he shrugged it off and kept watching the movie. Something happened.
Ooh.
A few minutes later he paused the movie and said he wanted to ask me a question. He asked me if I'd noticed Chloe never swam when she came to our house.
I told you! He's not stupid, he sees this.
I wish I could say I was calm and collected like the comments were advising, but I ended up laughing hysterically. I was honestly just so relieved he brought it up instead of me having to be the one to do it. I think my husband thought I was losing my mind. When I finally stopped laughing, he repeated the question and he said he wanted a serious answer. I said, of course I've noticed, and he awkwardly replied, so you must have noticed the other thing too. To summarise the conversation that followed, my husband hadn't noticed Chloe was flirting with him the first few days because he was so busy with work. He wasn't really paying attention to anything else. He said when she started getting handsy is when he suddenly had the light bulb moment that she was into him. He says he didn't want to unnecessarily stress me out, so he never mentioned anything, but he was worried I'd noticed too and thought he was interested because he hadn't immediately shut it down. He realised we would eventually have to have this talk but wasn't sure how to bring it up. Oh, the irony. He did privately speak to Chloe and told her he was happily married and wasn't interested in starting anything with anyone else. Apparently she never took him seriously because she kept doing it.
Yeah, that's when me and Chloe.
Oh, it's good that he noticed. I mean, a lot of men would have just entertained it because they're bored.
We doubted you, husband.
I know, but now we like you.
See, there are good relationships in this one.
I know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sis, you dealt with that scenario very well. Well done to the husband too.
I know, good done that wife. Alright then guys, that's all for today. If you have anything that you want to say about the things that we've discussed in the video, please comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next Sunday at 7 p.m.
Bye.